Hey YouTube, I clipped this just to show off my thoughts on some upcoming content. If you want to check out the full video, please check it out in the card to the right. Otherwise, enjoy this short piece. Drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, let's get started. Now we have the Wyrm raid with Paladin Cecil's LD and Burst. This man is hyped for a good reason. He's getting his LD, and this is loaded. He's got a double HP attack, split damage twice, drops Holy in Peril, and overheals the party. He gets a new overhead as well. He gets a huge defense up for the party, more HP regen. He ups the HP overflow, so regen and burst heals can recover above 30% of your max HP. When the party member that's attacking is currently at or above full HP, they get 20% HP damage reduction, 50% brave damage dealt up, which is like Saw's overhead levels, 20% HP damage up. This is pretty close to a burst effect, honestly. And he gets a free skill use afterwards, which he can pretty much use to sustain his Holy Enchant the entire fight on his C65. This is super loaded. Brave damage up on top of enchant means you hit hilariously hard, the party does, on everything, provided that the content allows Imperil and it's not Holy Absorb. His burst is even more ridiculous, although not nearly as loaded, but still good. Brave damage up 50% again, gained overflow 20%, more HP regen, and you get HP based brave regen. And at 100% HP and higher, your brave and HP caps get raised. So he's got conditionals, but the conditionals are so easy to meet that it's just big damage. His calls aren't that great, unfortunately, but you're usually running Cecil in the main party anyways. His regular call is just a burst heal and defense up, and his LD call is another huge defense up, and it's an overheal. So good if you need heals, but you don't necessarily want Cecil in the party at the time. Additionally, Camlanot is getting his LD boards. He gets a double HP attack with a refund in between that hits hard. It's still single target though, but it splashes and it does more damage now on his LD. He applies Addle, his 3-turn, attack down debuff when he uses LD, so you don't have to wait to get hit for it. You can just get it up off the bat. His overhead lasts longer. He's got additional party attack aura, so he becomes a little bit more beneficial in the party. Skill 1 becomes plus right after he uses LD, so he can chain LD into guaranteed free paralyze, which is fantastic if you plan it correctly. Brave Plus gets 50% gravity before hitting, which makes it easier to land a break and abuse the paralyze. His LD call is fantastic. It's one of the best in the game for a while. It applies Addle, which is probably the least significant part, but good for attack down stacking if you really are interested in that. Whoever the caller gets, I think it's 6 turns or maybe it's 3 turns. I don't know exactly. You'll see. It's 30% brave refund after every turn after the HP attack, which is incredible for like burst phases. So imagine you're Onion Knight and then you do 100 HP damage, 100k HP damage, and then you're gonna get 30% of that back. It's great for returning brave and doing a lot of damage in burst phases and just consecutive damage dealers. I don't know if it applies to off-turn damage units. I never tested it. I probably should go do that, but that'd be fantastic as well. Great LD call. Even if you don't use him that far, I use his LD call for months, and although I try to run cam as much as possible, he gets some really good upgrades here, so shout out to them. Now for my thoughts and my pulls, well, obviously I think everyone should pull Paladin Cecil. He's amazing. It's not necessary to hunt his burst, but man, this dude is something else. He's so powerful that a sizable chunk of Holy Absorb is coming, like I mentioned with Sayador, Eld's Lost Chapter, RNA's event, Trey's Lost Chapter, Terra's Chapter Lufenia countering elements, Ami Detelian's Lost Chapter, Garland's Burst for Transcendence 2. However, unlike his damage-oriented son, if there's Imperil immunity, Paladin Cecil can still function as an Aurabot, and he's still very good. But even in Absorb, you might even be able to justify him anyways, but just don't turn the enchant on. People will probably do it anyways. That's my prediction. He is nearly vital in Transcendence 1, and it's so ridiculously hard to do it without his LD. So for your sanity, unless you want to really challenge yourself, I would say grab Paladin Cecil for that. He's got insane longevity in the meta. Per usual, he can't carry you through Lufenia. You still need to deal with orbs and mechanics. I mean, the left node for Transcendence is Holy, and the middle second wave is to stay above 100% HP damage, so he's good for that. Then there's some HP regen orbs down the road, but he can be used for that as well. But anyways, he's pretty much the perfect glue to hold teams together, provided you can hit the orb and Holy is not absorbed, rhyming accidentally. In fact, if you ignore the enchant and bring him in absorb fights, he might be workable anyways, like I said. Cam's Lost Chapter LD call is incredible, and if you're wealthy and you're okay pulling for calls, it's a decent option. Attack down is situationally good, and stacking it is very fun as well. Cam is a lot smoother now, and he won't necessarily shine anywhere. Maybe some paralyzed orbs or stun stuff, or just fights where you don't want to get nuked, but he'll live on as a fantastic call. So definitely a solid upgrade for Cam. I'm gemming Paladin Cecil. I need him for Transcendence. Well, I don't need him, but I don't want to I don't want to slam my head against that stupid fight. I'm not going to chase his burst though. Not chasing burst out here because I've had it and I think I can live without it, but it's real good to have, like I said. Lufenia is the Hell Wyrm. It is thunder and earth absorb again, so sorry guy, sorry gal. It's ice and holy week. Sorry, Vincent, although again, someone might make him work here. It might be possible because this stage isn't terribly difficult. So in spite of absorbs, you might be able to force people through. Anyways, it's also magic resist. The orb is to burst heal, and it's +7 per healed unit, which is hilariously easy to upkeep. It's got some dangerous attacks, but I expect most to coast through this with Paladin Cecil because he really just trivializes this fight. The boss is actually hilariously easy if you run Paladin Cecil because you're never in terrible danger. The boss recast is potentially dangerous. It dispels your generics and ignores reductions and cleanses debuffs after the attack. And the way you're supposed to mitigate this is attack down and defense up, which both Camelot and Paladin Cecil provide, and it resummons a Maria Mannequin. The Maria Mannequin can just kill you if its recast is up. So if you can gain Brave or you can tank the attack, it could be alright, but you should probably just take her down before that happens. I don't expect Mighty to struggle here because Paladin Cecil, but something really big here is to farm Paladin Cecil's RF spears like crazy. You wanna farm as many of these as possible because there's an update to the way Brave gain armor works down the road that makes Paladin Cecil's RF spear insanely valuable. So burn all of your white crystals farming Paladin Cecil. God, I can't talk today. Farming Paladin Cecil's RF spear. You will thank me later. I'm working on a video to show off why it's so important, but the TLDR is that it can spice individual Brave gains from like normal levels to plus like 80 or 90%. So farm a lot of those RF spears. If I could go back in time in JP and farm these, I will go completely empty on crystals. I can't emphasize this enough. Farm those Paladin Cecil RF spears. Alright, hope you enjoyed the clip. Please drop a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Please be sure to check out the full video in the card, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.